are continuing to learn more and more about the sniper suspects. We're starting to get a better idea about what may have brought these two men, Mohammed and Malvo, together. The Seattle Times, in fact, is reporting today that John Mohammed may have had ties to human smuggling, which might explain how he paired up with the Jamaican immigrant John Malvo. Well, joining us now to talk more about this is former detective for the New York Police Department, John Beza. Hi, John. Thanks for coming in today.
Hi.
So what do you make of this possible connection to a human smuggling and fake document ring?
Well, it doesn't surprise me. In fact, nothing in this case really surprises me at this point. But I think we're going to find out more of this type of stuff as we go along here, and as they question different people involved in this case, you're going to find out some more things like this. And I think that that's just par for the course here.
You know, maybe that does explain how the two of them hooked up, if indeed he did have some kind of a connection to a human smuggling ring. Maybe that's how he got hooked up with this 17-year-old Malvo. What do you make of the relationship between these two men? It's not clear exactly what it is, but what do you think's going on there?
Well, I don't know. I'd hate to speculate at this point. A lot of people have done a lot of speculating, but you know, at this point, it seems to be possibly somebody who looks up to the older figure. The younger Malvo looks up to Mohammed, but that's about all I can tell right now.
The third name that has cropped up in this investigation is Nathaniel Osborne. He was arrested yesterday in Michigan. He was arraigned today. He's on his way to Maryland now. They're calling him a material witness, but he was shoved into the back of a car, handcuffed. He almost sounds more like a suspect to me.
Well, I'm sure they say he's a material witness, but I'm sure they'll question him as if he's a suspect, and they should.
If you're questioning him, what do you focus on? The first thing you want to find out is, what did you know about this car, and if it was going to be used in any kind of attacks, that sort of thing?
Yeah, and what I would do is I would start from the very beginning. When did you first meet these people? When did you first meet Mohammed or Malvo? When did you first have contact with them? And go get a timeline, where they were at, and you have to also question whether this individual was involved as well. I'm not saying he is, but that's something that the investigators have to ask.
Because if he was a co-owner of the car, which in fact he is, did he know about the hole in the trunk that was used by the snipers to commit these shootings, at least allegedly?
Right. I mean, that's definitely something that they're going to have to ask him, and I'm sure they are asking him right now.
You know, I think what we have learned in all of this is that criminal profiling doesn't always work, and didn't work in this case.
I agree, and I think that it's one of the lessons that we definitely have to take away from this, is that we cannot focus on these profiles so much. We can't narrow our focus, and it's very clear to me in this case that that's what happened.
Are you surprised with how all of this unfolded?
You know, I'm not really surprised. I think that I knew that there was going to be a tip from either the public, or there was going to be a mess up by the suspects in this case, and that's what we found had happened here.
What do you think has been learned from an investigative standpoint that can be used in the future?
Well, I think what you have to learn, number one, is that we had that car stopped 10 or 12 times. We have to learn how to get that information into a computer and spit it out so it prioritizes it, so that they look at that first and say, listen, this car stopped 3 or 4 times at different locations in the area.
Yeah, and we were so focused on the white van that maybe we didn't see the forest for the trees, and maybe we got thrown off there.
Right. Well, witness descriptions are always shaky, always. Unfortunately, they are, and that's a problem.
All right, but fortunately, looks like they've got the guys.
Yes.
All right, former detective for the NYPD, John Beza, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you,
We
Laura.
appreciate it. Julian?